So you're moving to Atlanta and you don't know the best place to live, in town, out of town. Maybe you already live here and you've never been OTP, outside the perimeter, out in the burbs. Well, you're in luck. Today I'm covering my favorite top 5 suburbs of Atlanta. Let's get started. What's up, guys? My name's Anthony Laborde. I'm a realtor here in Atlanta, Georgia. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing. This is where you're gonna learn everything, anything, living, playing, working in Atlanta. We talk about, just like in this video, we talk about the suburbs, neighborhoods, schools, drive times, businesses, cost of living, you name it. If it's got to do with living here in Atlanta, we're talking about it. Let's get going. First stop on our list of suburbs is Vinings, Georgia. I absolutely love Vinings, just a unique community. It's a small community, about 12,000 people. It's 20 minutes north of downtown. You go straight up 75 north, right before you get to the perimeter, which is our 285. It's on the western side, just across from the Chattahoochee River. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. The average demographic in Vinings is 25 to 45 years old. It's a very young, hip, professional crowd. Then you have a gap in the age, and you have a large number of retirees. The reason why is that Vinings is in Cobb County. It's very rare to find any piece of Cobb inside the perimeter. So when you have people, especially from Buckhead, Brookhaven, some of your more affluent areas that are retiring or empty nesters, they go to Vinings because at 62 years and older, if you live in Cobb, you have a number of exemptions. Number one, you're completely exempt from all school taxes after 62. That's pretty cool. But then you also get a huge senior citizen discount, almost up to 80% on your property taxes just for living in Cobb. Mention there's quite a bit of restaurants here. You have everything from the fine dining, high-end restaurants of Vinings Inn. You have Soho, Broken Egg Cafe, all the way to Canoe. Canoe is absolutely one of the best restaurants in all of the city, and it's there in Vinings. In addition to the restaurants, you have all the high-end shopping there. There in Vinings Jubilee, you have Banana Republic, Chico, Talbot's, and CVS. There's medical places there. There's restaurants, salons, hair places, massage, pizza, sushi, you name it, it's in Vinings Jubilee. Regarding the job market there in Vinings, I mentioned it's a very young, hip, professional crowd, and there's a reason for that. Number one, it's location. You're right there at 285 and 75, so it makes it easy access to get into downtown, midtown, Brookhaven, Buckhead, all the places where we have a large number of businesses there. Also, if you're in the medical field, Piedmont Hospital, Wellstar, Kennestone, they're all within 15-20 minutes of Vinings. And then Vinings is home to one of the world's largest corporations. It's actually number 23 on the Fortune 500 list. Vinings is where the Home Depot headquarters is located at. They employ about 400,000 people worldwide. There's a couple thousand of them right there at the headquarters. A number of executives live in Vinings. A lot of employees live there. So that location there is perfect. The job market is strong. Regarding the housing market there in Vinings, you have everything across the board. The median home price is $447,000. You can see just behind Cumberland Boulevard, this is the Galleria Mall. You have condos starting in the mid 100s, and it just continues to go up from there. If you get below Paces Ferry, that's where you get into single family homes, and it gets up into the 7, 8, 900s and even into the multi-million-dollar estates. Stop number 2 on our list is Woodstock, Georgia. Woodstock's about 45 minutes north of downtown. You go 75 north to 575 to Town Lake Parkway, and it takes you straight in there. Woodstock's about 30,000 people, so quite a bit larger than Vinings. Typically, it has been known as farmland just because of where it's located at. But as Atlanta has expanded and gotten bigger and bigger, Woodstock's one of those communities that has just blown up. Their downtown area and what they've done there with the restaurants, the retail, the condominiums, townhomes, the real estate right behind downtown, they have completely transformed it, and it is a happening, hip place. Just a few years ago, Woodstock passed an alcohol to go in their downtown area, so participating restaurants and bars can serve you in clear plastic cups, and you can walk around downtown with a drink in hand. If you like shopping, you're gonna love living in Woodstock, because just on the north side of town is one of the largest outlet malls in all of Georgia. It has over 100 retail stores, all name brand stores, a huge open food court, lots of restaurants, just a cool place to hang out, to get all your shopping done right there in a centralized location. In addition to the outlet malls, Woodstock does a great job of highlighting small business owners. When you're in the downtown area and you look at the businesses around there, underneath the townhomes, across the railroad tracks, all these are local business owners that Woodstock does a great job giving them priority for the space in the downtown area. Now, regarding the real estate in Woodstock, you're gonna get everything across the board. The median home price there is $200,000, which is substantially lower than the other suburbs that we're talking about. But again, you get quite a bit more living in Woodstock. Now, the $200,000 homes is gonna be away from downtown. There's a very centralized community in the downtown area, very high-end custom homes. You get no yard whatsoever. There's no land. You're pretty close to one another, but you're right in the middle of everything. Now you get away from downtown, and that's where you get into the $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 homes, but you get quite a bit more land there. You actually get some acreage. So really depends on what you're looking for, depending on what part of Woodstock, but Woodstock has everything. Recently voted one of the coolest towns to live in all of Georgia. Stop number 3 on our suburb list is the town of Roswell. Roswell is a community of about 100,000, located 15 miles north of downtown Atlanta, straight up 400. Roswell is best known for its history, its art galleries, Canton Street, the amazing restaurants, the nightlife, and then of course the Roswell School District is one of the strongest in all of Georgia. Although Roswell is right next to Woodstock, the median home price in Roswell is $330,000. So it's about 100 grand higher than Woodstock. The reason why is you have a little bit higher end downtown area, some more nice restaurants, there's more of an appeal, there's quite a bit more going on there in Roswell. The Canton Road downtown area, man, that place just lights up. It's got all kinds of restaurants and things to do, happening events all the time. They have concerts down there quite a bit. You're also right on Highway 400, which is a straight shot down to Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, downtown, Midtown, Buckhead, all on 400. Now, the styles of home in Roswell are going to vary greatly. Again, you can find townhomes, condos, single family homes, ranches. You can find all the way up to the multi-million-dollar estates. Here's a snapshot again of the current market here in Roswell. And you can see there's a couple of homes in the mid to high 200s. Most of them though are 300, 400, 600, all the way up to the high 900s. Another similarity between Woodstock and Roswell and some of these other suburbs is the huge shopping area. Not only do we have the historic district with all of its arts and crafts, but we have the Avenue. The Avenue is a 43-store mall located on Highway 120, and it has everything from Bath and Body Works, Gymboree, The Gap, J. Crew, Lens Crafters, Sephora, Tin Lizzie's. There's restaurants in there, all kinds of retail and tailors there. It's a super popular destination in East Cobb for those that don't want to go to the big malls. They want to stay in a local area and get some really good high-end shopping done. Now, if we continue out of Roswell and go slightly northeast, we run into number 4 on our suburb list, and that is Alpharetta. Alpharetta is a city of about 70,000 people, and it's located 30 minutes north of downtown, straight up 400. And Alpharetta is a fairly newer community as opposed to Woodstock and Roswell, where you get a tremendous amount of history there. You get much more state-of-the-art modern buildings, office buildings in Alpharetta. Now, one of the unique things about the area, when you talk about shopping, Alpharetta is the place to be. Not only do they have the Avalon, which is a massive 500,000 square foot shopping facility, office space, retail, movie theaters, residential. People live there. About 800 residents live at the Avalon. They work there because of the massive office spaces they have there. And Alpharetta has North Point Mall. Not like you have enough shopping. Now you have twice as much shopping out there. Back in the 90s when North Point opened up, it was one of the largest malls in the country. Now granted, we've had some pretty big ones open up since then, but it's still one of the largest in the Atlanta metro area. Alpharetta has shopping galore. Now, regarding real estate in Alpharetta, you're going to see a slightly higher median home price than Woodstock and Roswell. It's actually going to be closer to the Vinings prices. The average price in Alpharetta is about $365,000. Now, here's another snapshot of the current homes for sale, and you can see it's 400s, 500s, 600s. That's the majority of the real estate in Alpharetta, but it easily gets up into the high 900s and into the millions. All right, so we are down to number 1 on the suburb list, and that is my adopted hometown of Marietta, Georgia. I've lived in Marietta for over 20 years, absolutely love it. It is Cobb County, so we have some of the strongest school systems in all the country, especially here in Georgia. Lassiter, Walton, these are 2 of the top high schools in all of the state, from preschool all the way up, all award-winning, top-rated schools. Marietta also has Kennesaw State University Marietta campus. Kennesaw State is the third largest university here in Georgia, only behind University of Georgia and Georgia State. We also are home to Lockheed Martin and the Dobbins Air Force Base. We have a huge military presence here. Home Depot headquarters, I mentioned, is in Vinings. That's 20 minutes up the road. So the job market here in Marietta is very, very strong. It also has a lot to do with the location. We're about 15 miles from downtown Atlanta, so it's easy access down there. Again, very strategically located. We're right by 285 and 75, so you can get to anywhere in the city very quickly, to the airport in half an hour. Regarding the shopping scene here in Marietta, just like Roswell has the avenues of East Cobb, Marietta has the avenues of West Cobb. It's a 46-store mall, includes eating and shopping with stores like Ann Tater, American Eagle, Banana Republic, Chico's, GameStop, Joseph A. Bank, K Jewelers. And regarding the restaurants, you have Chili's, Panera Bread, there's Mediterranean food, Italian food, there's a steak restaurant there, Ted's Montana Grill is there. Just a great place for shopping and dining alike in Marietta. Now, if you're a history buff or you love the outdoors, you're gonna love Marietta. We're home to Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield. This is a federally protected national park. It's where the Battle of Pigeon Hill took place in the Civil War when General Sherman was making his march to the sea. But Kennesaw Mountain is home to over 20 miles of hiking and running trails. There's picnic areas, there's Civil War reenactments all the time. Wildlife can be seen all over the park. Just a beautiful, beautiful area to hang out with the family. Regarding the real estate here, just like with the other suburbs, you have it across the board. You have townhomes, condominiums, single family homes, ranches, major estates, anywhere from $100,000 all the way up into the multi-millions. Marietta Square actually just built some new townhomes right off the square, very state-of-the-art, modern. Prices start around $400,000 and go up from there. But a unique thing about the real estate in Marietta is that because there's so much Civil War history, we still have a number of homes, actually hundreds of homes, built in the early 1800s during the Civil War era that are this very traditional Victorian style home that you see in the movie Gone with the Wind. Speaking of Gone with the Wind, Margaret Mitchell's book, that was based on here in Georgia. We have the Margaret Mitchell Gone with the Wind Museum here in Marietta. The demographics in Marietta, again, across the board, you have a number of young professionals and singles that work in the downtown Marietta area. We also have a number of retirees in the area. Again, we're in Cobb County. People like that historic feel of Marietta. They like the tax breaks of being in Cobb County, so you get a lot of retirees here as well. And there's a lot of old generational money here. I mentioned the Victorian style homes. These are estates that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation, that these families still live there. So you have a lot of the old family roots here in Marietta as well. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. If you saw something that you liked, maybe you live here in Atlanta or have been here before, want to leave me a comment about your favorite suburb or neighborhood, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care.